feel like the difference between me praying 5 times a day and not is not even like, it's not questionable that it helps, that it does something for you. And even Steve Jobs, if you want to even look at prayer in a secular way,
Right.
Steve Jobs tells you, hey, one of the reasons why I was so creative for so long in my life is because I meditated. At least 30 minutes out of my day, I meditated, which caused my brain to actually grow younger. His brain was actually growing younger as he was growing older, just because he meditated. So when people ask us, like, why do you Muslims pray? One of the reasons is, guess what?
It's our meditation.
Yeah, our brain's growing younger every time.
Right, right.
One of the things Prophet, peace be upon him, said to, Bilal, I think you'd know Bilal, right?
Yeah.
Is whenever he would come to call the adhan, which is the call for prayer, he would...
The most beautiful voice.
Yeah. He would say, Arihna biha ya Bilal, which means, calm our hearts with it, Bilal. The Prophet used to basically, peace be upon him, be happy every time the prayer used to come, because it was the only time where he felt true peace and calmness.
Right.
Which is interesting to think about that. We think our lives are so hard, yet when we're asked to be peaceful and calm and meditate, we don't want to.
Right.
Which is...
Right. There was a video I was watching. Do you watch The Merciful Servant?
I do. I
love
that.
The Merciful Servant.
Yeah.
So there's a YouTube channel. It's called Merciful Servant. He talks about hadith and all that. So Merciful Servant, I was watching it one time, and he said, we Muslims ask for God when we need him, not when he gives us everything, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like when we have everything, we don't look at God. But when we need something, we always look at God.
Right.
And that's the mentality that really ultimately, back of letter terms, fucks you over in the long run.
What does?
It messes you over, fucks you over.
What does?
That mentality of not believing in God when you have everything.
When times are easy.
When the times are easy. Because when your times are easy, there's always someone that's having a harder time than you. And when that person's having a better time than you, you're having the hardest time out there. Because we're like a little speck on the spectrum of the universe, where our lives are nothing compared to anything else.
Really? Yeah.
Like our 100 years go by like that. Yeah. You don't realize it. I'm 21. I look back, I'm like, damn, I just graduated.
I was 4 years old yesterday.
Right. I'm going to be 30 years old. I'm going to look back. I was 21. I was on a podcast.
Yeah.
10 years ago. So is that kind of...
It's time... I didn't realize how much time flew by, except like within the last 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
Especially like one thing that was interesting I was reading is like the devil, for example, when he came to threaten humanity, and he was telling God how he was going to threaten
I'm going to flip every insan against you.
Yeah, well, he also said like he was like, I'm going to make them think they have a lot of time.
Right.
It was weird that was his threat. Like, imagine if I came up to you, Naveed, and I was like, you know what, bro, I don't like you anymore. I'm going to make you think you have a lot of time.
So there was a hadith. There's something in the Pakistani world, because I'm Pakistani, where they say that, I think it's general in Islam also, where you might as well remember God when you're young than when you're old, if that makes sense.
Why is that?
When you're on your deathbed, there's something about, Omar, there's something about a hadith, right? Where when you're on your deathbed, God doesn't listen to you. Allah doesn't
I'm not sure.
grant that last wish, because you had so long in your life to ask for forgiveness that now you're on your deathbed asking for that forgiveness now.
Oh yeah, I believe there's like a there's the time, there's like a time interval between when you die and where you
there's no
longer,
mercy granted.
There's no
exactly that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
exactly.
Which is scary.
That's what's scary. Like when you forget God right now, remember there's going to be a time where you're going to be on your deathbed and you're going to wish that you remembered Allah.
You know what's crazy is that one of my best friends, my childhood best friends since I was 4, passed away 2 weeks ago. May God rest his soul. And
may Allah have peace.
I never would have thought that a 21, 22-year-old, I never would have thought that death would be so near. You know, because us as young folks, we always look at death and we say far up ahead when we're done life. And you never think, hey, death isn't guaranteed. Well, death is guaranteed, but it's not guaranteed when. Right. It could be any moment.
Exactly.
And you got to if you live your life every day like it's your last day, if you treat your mother like it's your last time seeing her, if you treat your sisters like it's your last time, or brothers like it's the last time seeing them, if I treat you like it's going to be the last time I ever see you, then every interaction will be beautiful interactions. And then when you look at your life at the end of it, when it's truly at the end, you'll be able to look back at a bunch of beautiful interactions with people. And I think that's always why the Prophet, peace be upon him, told us to have death in the back of our minds always.
No, death is unavoidable. That's the one thing that's always going to be there waiting for you. It's the only thing
guaranteed for us. Literally. Like,
what's death's name in Islam?
What is it? I actually don't know this.
What's death's name in Islam?
Are you talking about like the angel of death?
The angel of death.
Isn't his name just the angel of death?
No, that's the Qiyamut al-Maut. Malik al-Maut.
That's just angel of death in Arabic.
In Arabic.
Yeah.
The angel of death.
You know, I'm not sure. I think I saw this in Merciful Servant itself.
Right.
One thing I saw is that the angel of death actually went.
Can we name all the angels?
Can we name them?
The four main angels.
Yeah. Can I name them?
Can we all? I don't know. Some of them I don't know.
There's Malik.
There's Malik.
Right.
It's Jibreel.
Or is it Mikael, Jibreel, Israfil. Azrael, I think so. Azrael. Is that the one with the...
Hafiz Saab, come on.
There's a lot of eels, and you know what eel means? You know why eel means God.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You learned something new.
Yeah.
Why?
Don't know, but eel comes from God, which is really interesting.
You know what really made me think when I was a time that there's a thing in the Quran, no one created your Lord.
Yes.
That was something in the back of my mind in 2018, where I was like, if Allah created us and we created so much technology and everything around us, who created him? That's when I think that's when a person starts becoming a kafir.
That's when it becomes that's what they call that's the Prophet, peace be upon him, actually addressed that question. He said that.
What did he say?
He said just don't even think about that, because that's the devil talking to you.
Exactly.
Because I definitely want to ask God that, like, if we by His grace enter heaven, I would love to be like, yo, like, what's good? How'd you come about? You, right? Yeah,
right.
Because then actually, when you learn about time and space, then you learn time
isn't
real, and He's not even affected by it, and all these kind of things. And which is interesting, is because like people always try to criticize God by saying like, oh, in the Quran or in the Bible, he's saying like 6 days, 7 days. And you're like, well, first of all, the Quran says that, one day for him is thousands upon thousands of years.
That's why you have Jummah.
Yeah. So for you to try to attribute the same physical laws to God, and I think that's what a lot of Americans try to do.
Yeah, exactly.
They try to attribute the same physical laws that affect us to God. Yeah, it's not the case at all. It's not the case.
No, exactly. And that's when they start losing themselves.
Yeah. And here's the thing: is one big thing that affected me big is that I've always wanted to be an American. I've always wanted to fit in. I've always wanted to be one of the boys. All this kind of talk. But then when I finally fit in, when I finally became an American, which I already am, right? But I didn't think I was. It's all mental, What I realized is I'm not happy. And then I started looking at my American friends, and I'm like, they're not happy either.
Oh, no one's happy nowadays.
Yeah,
everyone is
happy.
So miserable.
Nobody is. And I was just like, okay, so clearly I made the wrong choice here, because I thought through doing this, I was going to be happy as they are and, be cool and be all of this stuff. And then I realized immediately, like, they need Islam just as much as we do. Like, I look at my friends and I look at the struggles that they're going through, and if they knew the advice that this religion gives, the basically the discipline that this religion gives you, life would be so much different for them as it is for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, would you testify that your life has significantly improved ever since you got closer to God than before?
Absolutely.
It's not even, it's undeniable. Like, you're big on business and business mentality and stuff. Haven't you noticed that the same business mentality that is required in the business world is the same one that's required in religion?
It is.
Isn't that kind of crazy?
It's crazy. I just realized.
So, like, for example, I'll tell you, the Prophet, peace be upon him, they tell you to be like him in his character, right? One thing the Prophet, peace be upon him, used to do is what? Go into a room and go, hey, what's up? How's everyone doing? You know, smile and everything, to a point where his wife said that she knew he was upset with him. I mean, she knew he was upset with her when all he did was say, Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be upon you.
Peace be upon you. Which
is like, okay, for you to... For me to say assalamu alaikum to you, you'd be like, okay, that's cool. He's having a good day. Imagine if I was such a hype dude that me saying what's up to you, you're like, this guy's upset, right? And it's like, okay, now you're telling me to be like the Prophet, and now that I know this is what the Prophet is like, okay, let's use that in the business world.
Right.
Who's usually the guy that when he enters an office building and goes, what's up, Mike? How you doing? Hey, buddy, how are you? That's usually the CEO.
Right. Exactly.
You know?
Gotta have that energy.
You gotta have that. You gotta have that optimism. You gotta be that guy.
Exactly. Those facts.
Those are usually the leaders, right?
Right.
And so people try a lot of the time, and I'm so glad. And I thought you would be like this, but I'm glad you aren't. A lot of the time, people try to go down the secular road, thinking that will bring about them success, not realizing that that religion's actually the same, teaches you the same things.